Okay, so we'll take like few moments to arrive here also energetically. Like we all come from different places, different time zones, different experiences today. And then we will start. So I invite you to sit really comfortably, like find the way that is the most comfortable for you to sit and see if there is any change that you need to do in order to be more comfortable. It can be like moving a bit or bringing another pillow or changing something in the light. So take a moment to just see that you're sitting comfortably and like take a look around you. Look at the space around you and see if you can find three things that are agreeable for you. Like that looks beautiful, that warm your heart in a way. And just tell them to yourself, like, I see this plant that I have in my house, the tree outside my window, the wood building, like the wood ceiling that I have here. So, like, look around and see what's agreeable for you. Good. And you can put one hand on the heart and one hand on the belly. And see if you want to leave the eyes open and soft or if you want to close them. Both are good. And let's just take a moment to sense the air that's coming into our body and it's going outside. And the movement that happens when the body touches the hand that is on the lower belly, and then the hand on the heart. And when the hands soften into the body when the air goes out. And you don't need to change anything. Any sensation or any feelings that comes is welcome. And when we notice the air, we know that things change all the time. So maybe a second ago I felt one thing and now I feel something a bit different. And softly feel the air that is coming into the body and outside. And notice the ground underneath your body, behind your back, underneath your feet and your pelvis. Good. And within this place, see what's alive in you right now. What's present right now in the body, in the heart. And again, everything is welcomed. You can just say, okay, this is what I feel now. Good. And let's notice again to the air that's coming in and out and the ground that underneath us. And slowly, slowly, we can let our hands go down and open our eyes. And we can like take the hands and warm them a bit against each other. And like kind of like go around our arms, like from the shoulders to the hands, and and to the knees, like on the hips and the legs. And see if there is any place that wants to feel the warmth of our hand in the body. And place the hands there for a moment. Good. And when we take the hands down, we can look at the Zoom and see all the faces that are here with us. And kind of imagine we're in a circle and we're looking at each other's eyes and each other's faces. And it's like, hi, like, hello, Andrea, and hello, David, and hello, Yana, and Katharina, and Hildi. I don't know if said it right. And Waldemar, and Jane, and Joshua, and Lucia. Hello, everybody. Like, let's just look at each other and see we are all here together. Mm. And thank you for coming and for making the time and the effort and putting your hearts here and in it and with us. Thank you. So David will start and he will explain a bit about Satyam and the hunger strike, and then Yana will continue from there.
Thank you so much, Ed, for lending us. Yeah, as I was closing my eyes and being with my body, I really felt the trembling. Me and May, we haven't eaten food for 46 days today. And I feel it. I feel it the last days. There was a lot of energy in the body, actually, most of the time. And the last days, I feel it's slow to breathe and even to walk. Even to walk is hard. May is not with us because she's on her way to Berlin via Jordan, as she cannot go and enter Israel. So she always has to move through Jordan, and she has a commitment to teach at Edward Said College in Berlin, which is a musical college for Israelis and Palestinian youth to play together, and they travel the world and play music. So that's why she's not with us. Also, from next week, we will have our Zooms 2 hours later, just that you already know. Yeah. It's very loud. So yeah, what can I say? First of all, I want to thank you so much from my heart for joining. Those of you who joined for the first time, welcome. And those of you who joined us already, for some of you for 6 weeks, almost every day, just so much gratitude for your companionship in this movement. Yeah, we decided to go on hunger strike 46 days ago because we couldn't bear anymore to watch what's happening an hour drive next to us. We didn't know how to eat our plates while people are being bombed and starved and die of just of lack of anything basic. So we decided to go on hunger strike to be in full solidarity, and we said, until they eat, we don't. To feel with them what it means not to have, next to abundance, to refuse, to resist, to deny, out of choice, with those who are denied without choice. There's enough food even on the borders of Gaza to feed the people for 3 months there, but it's not allowed in. Now actually they have opened to some of the aid to get in, actually because of a lot of international pressure. And we really believe that it needs the international community to speak out even more strongly and put a lot of pressure. This is why we started this global movement, because we really believe we need the international community to put pressure on Israel. Right now, there is no mercy, there is no conscience in the people who make policy here. They're really extremist, radical extremist that dictate policy. And this is why we don't have any trust in the humanity that will be that we can count on here. So this is why we started this global movement and call every one of you to do what you can to make a lot of noise and raise awareness and show what the media is not showing. They start to show it now. They start to show it also on the news now. But this is because so many courageous souls on the ground have filmed with their cameras what is happening. So they cannot deny anymore the reality, the genocide. This is not a war, what's happening. It's not self-defense. This story doesn't hold. It doesn't hold. And it's happening everywhere. We are in grief. Those of you who are with us the last days, we're in grief with a friend activist, Auda, who was shot and killed without doing any threat. It's all on video, completely filmed. Even his shooting in the village of Masafayata, which was declared a military zone just a few months ago. And they are moving and destructing 2,000 people's homes of the villages there. And settlers have basically the person who shot him, who's on camera, they released him on house arrest. And they arrested 14 more people, leaders of the village, and haven't returned them yet. There's no justice. There's no justice. They don't even allow them to have a funeral. They ask them to agree, his family, to give back the body, to agree that they have no public funeral. Only 15 people can attend in their village because they don't want media. They don't want attention. They try to avoid. Our friend activists couldn't enter because they closed all the area, military, to prevent people from coming and even joining and even giving condolences, even being with them in the grief and the pain, being with his 3 children that are left behind. So it's up to us to show and to speak and to pressure and to roar so that our governments will acknowledge and the media will show to the world what is happening. And Israeli government is pressured and pushed to change what they do. So this is why we started this movement. This is why we went on hunger strike. And we will continue until Gaza is fed, until there is a stop of the of the bombing and the military operation, what they call it, which is a genocide by definition. And we don't only stand with the people of Gaza, we stand with everyone. We also stand with the hostages that are still kept in the tunnels. We stand with everyone. Satyam doesn't choose sides. We stand with humanity and we stand with justice, but for all people. And never again, for me as a Jew, means never again to no one, not just to us. And this is what we stand for humanity of everyone. One life is equal one life. We don't differentiate. So 1.5 years ago, we founded Satyam exactly because of the polarization and the divide and the more walls and more separation that's happening here in the land. And we opened Satyam in the West Bank and the occupied territories so that everyone can come legally, Israelis, internationals, Palestinians, and we can meet and we can keep meeting, and we host organizations that want to keep meeting and do joint work, because we believe first we have to take down the walls that we've built on our own hearts. The fear we got taught from each other, the dehumanization, the enemy images. We were taught to be enemies. And to see that the other is also human and they want no other, they want peace and joy and prosperity for their children. And we believe it's possible. We believe it's possible to live in peace among each other here in the land. We know it's possible. We've experienced it. We had a community center for 8 years called ECOME. This is where Janna also and me met. From 2010 to 2014, and we lived together, Palestinian Israelis, and we met the reality, and we talked, and we actually sat down with the pain, and we listened to each other's stories, and we came to understand that what we need to resist and fight is not each other, but is the systems of oppression that harm everyone. So this is our purpose, and we believe deeply in doing it together, that there's a deep power in doing it together. And it also means the inner work. We have to do the inner work until we fall in love again with each other. Because I deeply believe that in the truth of all of this, we miss each other. We're one family. We're genetically related here in the land, intertwined. These are stories that we have built that separate us. So that's what Satyam stands for. And that's what the hunger strike is about. And I have such deep gratitude for each one of you joining this movement. And we really ask you to keep journeying with us, to keep spreading the word, to bring this awareness to the world. Not only what's happening, not only the reality that's happening that we keep showing here, that media is refusing to show, but also to find ways to support directly. So many people have donated yesterday to Salem, to that we'll give the money in the next days to his family, that will go to Masafariata. We've received so much also support for Gaza, for Dia there, who shared with us, who came twice, had the courage to come and speak with us about what's happening. And yeah, and keep doing what you do. We know you all are active and you do what you can, and we're grateful for you. And we believe also that we as the people, the more we network and empower each other, the more power we have to change the reality here and beyond. This is a global struggle of justice, of dignity for everyone on this planet. We believe there's enough, and we wish to create reality that we share it in a way that everyone can prosper. So it's a long journey, but it's step by step, and it starts yesterday. So thank you again. And I'm so grateful for Janna. Janna is, as I said, a friend from ECOME back then. And she's actually, the last years, her work has focused on actually grief. And one thing that I know is that, especially in Europe and the US, I think, but everywhere in the world, I think we've lost touch with way of grieving. And for me, grief is an essential part of life that for me, the more I allow grief, the more love I can connect to, and the more empowered I can feel to actually bring to action. And that for me, grief is really also about community, because we can hold so much more together than we can alone. This is also where we come together, to grieve, to be with the pain, the despair, and to hold it together. So we invited Janna today. She was willing to come and share and invite us into a grieving practice, even if it's just a little bit, and to share about what she has gathered, the wisdom she has gathered from many people and traditions in the last year. So I'm grateful. Thank you for being with us, for you, Janna, welcoming you.
Thank you, David. David, are you complete?
Yes, yes,
Ah, yeah, also from me, a very warm welcome here in the space. And thank you, Had and David, for the opening words and all the work what you've done so far. Mm. And before I speak and put more information in the space, I invite us to feel the body again and to also welcome our bodies, maybe back into our space, or still say hello. Nice that you're here with me. And I invite you to maybe also touch your body if it feels good for you, or to take a deep breath and let sink in a bit what David just shared. Mhm. Yeah, and I also want to invite you throughout when I'm speaking, also if we are going into sharings, that you don't forget that you're here with your whole being, with your body, and that maybe it needs some movements, some shaking, some breathings, or even a pillow or something, what it makes more comfortable to sit together. You know? And I'm somehow really touched and grateful that I have the possibility to speak here. And as David already said, my name is Janna. And the reason why I speak here is because I got to know some of you holding Satyam now years before in ECOME. And in this time, I was in deep despair. And the whole journey with friends I met there and the vision, the land, and myself in it gave me the final peace and encouragement to do what I do today. And that is mostly holding multi-day grief rituals with a wonderful team. And also thank you for all of you who are here from my team and colleagues today, that I am not so nervous. Um, yeah, and by holding these rituals, I try actually to create a vivid and yet powerful culture of grieving together. And this was back then the missing piece I was searching for. Mm. And I think Francis Vella, one of my teachers, once said how to build capacities to keep our hearts open to this beautiful and breaking world, fostering our ability to resist the pull towards numbness and living small. The vitality of our soul matters. Building places of refugia matters. Being together to hold the overwhelming sorrows of the world matters. And for me, even knowing that Satyam exists is a place of refugia, and it matters to me. And I was deeply crying for relief when I heard that this was opening. Mm. And one of the ideals I hold close to my heart is the vision of a society where no one bears the weight of grief alone, and where authenticity is celebrated rather than hidden. And this is something I really believe in somehow. Yeah. So now you know already some pieces of my life. Thank you for listening to that. And I'm also very happy that, as I said, I'm not alone here today. And if after a few words from my side, we will also hear a song from Saskia, what is also speaking about grief. Yeah. But before, I just want really to also say that we gather today in a deep time of injustice and unimaginable loss. And that even for me, the question is often, how do we hold us? How do we hold us together? And that's what's happening in Gaza and then across Palestine is a genocide, occupation, and forced displacement. And many of us are experiencing it or witnessing it from near or far. And that some of you may have lost loved ones, and some of you may live in constant unsafety and uncertainty. And some of you are holding maybe grief that feels too complex to name it. And much, much more. I even don't have words for now. But I want to honor it all and also offer my solidarity for this. Thank you. And before I'm sharing a bit about what, maybe a bit of background about grieving and communal grieving, I would like to ask Saskia to sing the song. And I invite also everyone to sing along. I write the text, the lyrics in the chat, but to mute you because in Zoom it's sometimes a bit weird if you hear different voices. But I really invite you to sing along, and I also will put it later on Spotify so that you can keep hearing it after we gather. And thank you, Saskia, for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me to be here. Can you hear me?
No, Saskia, you need to put the mic more to the guitar, I think.
Because I'm with my phone here. I hope it.
There's also a way to put in the microphone original audio that sometimes helps with music, but we can check how this goes.
Original audio.
Yeah, I think if you don't have that setting, then it will sound very weird because Zoom thinks that it's a background noise and it tries to filter it out. So there's a setting that's called original tone or original sound for musicians.
But in the Zoom app or on the phone?
I don't know where it is for you. I once activated it and now I have it all the time on my screen and can activate it or deactivate it.
I think you go to audio setting.
Okay, sorry to take you through this now. Let me just see if I find it.
Not sure.
Mm.
Otherwise, we hear your voice, Saskia.
Yeah, I guess that's app sound settings. Is that it? No. Yeah, okay. I'll figure that out for the future, and I hope I will just play, and then I hope it kind of lands. Yeah.
Great, thank you.
Mighty reveal my grief, my sorrow. You hear it?
I think
Okay.
you sing without playing, we'll hear it better. Is it possible?
I can. Yeah, that's
You can
funny.
hold the guitar. But if you play so the Zoom don't get both of the sounds.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm not sure if this is that, if that serves now. Janna, you want me to sing it still without the guitar? Okay.
Yeah.
I wish to hear you.
Okay. My tears reveal my grief, my sorrow. Your tears are for no more swallow. My grief reveals my love. Your grief connects to the above. My love is traveling through sound. Your love makes the world go round. Our love is the nectar for our life to thrive.
Thank you, Saskia. Mm.
Figure out the sound.
I also put the link to this song in the chat. Yeah. So as I spoke from ECOME, I also want to invite something for our time together. And when I was in this time in ECOME, there was a poem from Rumi saying there's a place between right and wrong. And in this place we will meet. And somehow I also want to invite this space as a learning space, to be in grief together and try what fits us, what is supportive for us. Yeah. And maybe I give now a short overview about what grief could be, very general. And I'm also skipping a bit away, looking at the time and everything from my schedule. But I think it could help and serve somehow. So, in general, the very, very short definition how I define grief is a response to loss. And this response can be anything. It can be like with crying with tears, it can be love declaration, it can be gratitude, it can be stillness, it can be anger, it can be numbness. There's a variety of the responses to loss. So this is a very short definition of grief I'm going with. Probably they are different as well, but that's what I learned and what I also pass forward. And for now, I want to quote a bit a teacher of mine, Frances Weller, who also maybe some of you know, who's speaking about different gates of grief. And just some people sometimes said, now I know this is also grief. So maybe it's helpful to share some of these pictures or mythologies, what are in there. And what I also want to invite you, because we are facing such a collective amount of grief and pain and injustice now, that you take pauses in between, that it's okay to stop if it becomes too big. Feel your body and feel the ground beneath you, or whatever serves you in this moment. Is that okay for you? Okay. So Francis Weller speaking about the 5 gates, and there's also a 6 gates speaking about repair. But this is somehow very new. But I just go through them. And he's speaking about the first gate or door, what you open, what is in our life. And this is described as the door that everything what we love, we will lose at one point in our life. So by this, it's also describing already that grief and love are somehow intertwined and part of life. And that in a very natural way, like every season is changing. Even from summer it becomes autumn, but also like a flower is blossoming and dying. And many, many other cycles. So that's what how he is introducing grief and how it's so much connected to life itself. And the second gate, what he is speaking to, is the things we expected to be and we are not. That could be like a million things. For example, I'm 40 and I'm not the musician I wanted to be, or I wanted to live a very different life, or I expected to live a very different life that I have now. And to this gate, I want to come back later a bit more with another picture. And then he's describing another gate or door, what is describing all the places in us that have not known love yet. The places we try to hide, often because when we were a child and we wanted to show something, we didn't get the response, so that we hide it and put it away, or we got ashamed, or we had some guilt on it. So he's speaking actually to send them into the underworld, the outcasts one. So that these places we are also not daring to show, so that they also cannot be loved, not be seen. And welcoming these spaces or pieces of us back into life is often like a bumpy road of grief, and often comes along with de-guilting and de-shaming as well. And then he's speaking about the other 2 gates, what are more like going into a collective grief. He's speaking about the grief of the ancestors. For example, me as born in Germany, and my ancestors were in war, not safe enough to grieve. So probably I carry some of the grief they couldn't grieve. And then Francis Vella is going forward to the gate, what he is calling the sorrows of the world. The sorrows of the world means also often described as Earth grief, like everything what the planet Earth is going through. And I would extend it actually to everything what we are also witnessing on sorrows and what is causing sorrows in our heart. And the next door about the repair is all the things where I also acknowledge or start to acknowledge, for example, as a cis white person living in a very privileged state, how much harm I caused and still causing with all the patterns inside me. And that the steps towards repair are often also a journey of grieving. A journey of grieving, but also of connection. And as I said, I want to go back to the second gate where I said Francis Weller is describing this gate as this everything what I expected to be and I'm not, or everything what I thought I have and I haven't. And I just want to focus on this because also this, for me at least, is carrying some hope in it. And there's like a little journey I would like to take with me. Not saying that it's true, it's just something I imagine. So if I imagine like two particles somewhere in the universe, or one particle or three or more, I don't know, started to vibrate with each other and somehow decided to become soul and matter as a human being. Maybe in this very first vibration, there was something in, some wish, some hope, something this vibration or even being expected to receive or to have or to experience. And then becoming matter and being born and growing up. This resonance or this what is living inside of us and seeing that the world is not and our life is not as it could maybe. This is something where I feel we are often in today in the global catastrophe, and even for me witnessing all the pain in Palestine, Gaza, and even me being here only can do a little. So what I say is in this, if I took you on this imagination journey, maybe what it could be and what is maybe in our souls, this hope or this vision of life, how it could be. And when we meet the harsh reality, how much grief comes with this. So even in ECOME or all the projects who are holding visions, there's already like a story of loss inside, that it's not here now, that there's something we hope one day or we hope to achieve and we still are going with it. And I'm referring this also to all the activists, all the people who are holding this complexity inside of them, with a deep acknowledgement of also the grief, what it brings with us. So far. Maybe a deep breath or some movement again. And short question for David. So we have until 6:30, right? So I thought for now to arrive a bit more into the space and with each other, um, that it would make sense to go into a short one-on-one sharing with each other. What brought you here, and how are you in this moment, and whatever you want to share. Would that be okay for you? So, David, I would ask you to make breakout rooms and also saying it's an invitation. There's no need to, but it's an invitation to share and connect with each other and maybe also processing something what has been heard already.
How much time will it be?
So 3 minutes each, 6 minutes in total.
So people time themselves, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
And for the sharing, it's important that one person is sharing and there's no comment or no judgment, opinion um, with words. It's only like a thank you if you heard it. And I invite empathy for hearing the other person.
Reveal my grief, my sorrow.
Welcome back from your sharing. I hope it helped a bit to arrive here together. And before I invite to share here in this circle, I have a poem to speak. And after this, I will speak a bit into it. And I choose this poem also knowing there's this recent loss of a friend or a few of you and a few of us. You don't lose someone once. You lose them over and over. Sometimes many days, sometimes many times a day. When the loss is momentarily forgotten, creeps up and attacks you from behind, fresh waves of grief as the realization hits home. They are gone again. You don't just lose someone once, you lose them every time you open your eyes to a new dawn. And as you awaken, so does your memory. So does the jolting bolt of lightning that rips into your heart. They are gone again. Losing someone is a journey, not a one-off. There is no end to the loss, and there's only a learned skill on how to stay afloat when it washes over. Be kind to those who are sailing this stormy sea. They have a journey ahead of them and a daily shock to the system each time they realize they are gone again. You don't just lose someone once, you lose them every day for a lifetime. This poem is from Donna Ashworth from I Wish I Knew. And why I took this poem into the space is that I wanted to acknowledge that when we speak about loss, this loss doesn't come with one loss. It often has many losses, thousands of losses. And another teacher of mine, Elke, some of you know her also, was saying once that grieving is actually learning something new, learning what is not there anymore. And in this learning process, where so many layers of losses sometimes come to one human heart, for me, it's so understandable that it is supportive when you are together and that it's not over in a year. And I want to invite you maybe also to take in a timeline of asking friends even 10 years after and be listening to their grief of loved ones. Because maybe the loss 10 years later, after maybe the death of someone, is a new loss what is occurring to them. And I also want really to honor this space here, what you offer at Satyam, that you come together, that so many people come together every day and somehow sit together, be together with their grief, with their pain, learning to be in it, what is so unspeakable, so big. And I wanted to ask Tildy if you feel like sharing the song or not.
If you think it's good.
I hear you good now. You just sing without guitar, right?
Yes.
You can also change in the audio.
I changed it already. Yes. So the song is called One Body, and it's by Alexandra Blakely, who a musician from the US who made like a whole album with songs dedicated to grieving. And I will sing it to you, and you're invited to sing along or just listen to it as you feel comfortable. The lyrics goes, I don't know if we were meant to carry so much grief in one body. And then there's another part, yet we are not alone, yet we are not alone. And looking at the time, I think I will only sing it once or twice. And yes, here it goes. I don't know if we were meant to carry so much grief in one body. I don't know if we were meant to carry so much grief in one body. Yet we are not alone. We are not alone. Yet we are not alone. We are not alone. I don't know If we were meant to carry so much grief in one body, I don't know if we were meant to carry so much grief in one body. Thank you.
Thank you, Tilly. And with saying now already several times that we are here together, I want to open also this circle for sharings. What wants to be shared, also knowing our journey is coming to an end. But still, there are 15 minutes left. So maybe there is something to share to questions. What are you mourning that has no words? Or who do you carry in your heart today? What gives you hope? Or what do you wish the world would see or feel? Or very simple, what grief brought you here? And as I left the schedule and everything already far behind, I just opened the space for popcorn, sharings, maybe around 1 minute or so. And I guess you can unmute yourself.
This is my first time here, and I just want to say thank you so much for providing this space. I was I was so grief stricken, and I felt like my life was consumed with this, and I kept posting and asking people to see that there's no separation and that we're all one, and to stop funding these wars. And I was losing friends, and people were attacking me, saying I'm anti-Semite, and the same stuff. And my girlfriend, God bless her, she said, Jamila, I said, how do you not post? How do you not have a voice and give the voice to the voiceless? And she mentioned this group. So I'm really grateful that the two sides are coming together and realizing we're one, and the compassion, and God bless those fasting. It's so challenging to watch, but I'm really grateful. I got at the beginning of this year, I found out I had cancer. And then my little Lucy just lost her leg because she got cancer also. And my friend was like, Jamila, you have to stop. You have to, it's not doing any good. And I felt like I was at a loss. She said, it's consuming your life, and you have to focus on healing right now. And so I'm just searching for a way. I don't know how else, besides activism or giving a voice. Um, So thank you. I'm really grateful. And if there's any other ways or groups or anything that you can think of to make a difference. I do the meditations and trying to see world peace and trying to call my government, and it's just I'm running out of ideas. So anyways, thank you so much for all that you do. I loved your grief message. It was so true. I resonated with that. Thank you.
Thank you, Jamila. Shifra, you also raising your hand. You can just unmute yourself.
Yes. Well, thank you for this call. I had a friend who was ill, who I had to take care of for a little bit. But I guess I come because I have been grief stricken about just the amount of death and destruction and how unconscionable and how incredibly, in addition, just stupid and self-destructive it is. And in addition, and my hearts are really with the people in Gaza and people in the West Bank, the people who aren't fasting. My health doesn't allow me to do that, but um, I do carry a tremendous amount of grief, and because I always had a lot of hopes for this whole situation resolving, or at least moving in a much better direction, and I resonate with the person who spoke just now. Like, how do you take care of yourself, and also so you don't go into you don't neglect your own self, but still care, still show care and do what you can. And I just agree there is really no separation. Whatever we may have this identity or that identity, but that's not our ultimate. Um, it's not our ultimate identity. And I
Shifra,
don't know. Yeah,
is
and I still maintain faith and hope in the midst of it, to the best of my ability. And I send my love to everybody here. Thank you.
thank you. Sophia,
Hi, everyone. I want to thank you so much. It's a blessing for me to be joining in this kind of group. And I was telling in my partner in the room that I've been playing such a role in activism in Portugal, in Lisbon, and I went to Egypt as well with Global March to Gaza. And my difficulty, my challenge was to be able to discriminate my feelings, all the emotions, because it's very, very difficult. Because love and hate are so nearby, and it's so difficult to stay calm and to act in a pacifist protest. And being with you guys, it's calms me down in several ways that you can imagine, and somehow you all your acts, you are so brave. You're of your bravery, and here in this group, thank you so much to hold this, and I'll keep being here, and I'll keep supporting you guys, even being in islands. I'm just right next to you guys. Thank you so much.
thank you, Sophia.
Thank you, dear. It's felt. Thank you.
Any other voices?
I would like to share. 2 days ago, someone said in this call that we're here to rehumanize together. And I'm like, with the grief that this is even needed. And yeah. like the grief and the joy that this is happening, the gratitude, and at the same time the pain that this is even needed.
Mm.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joshua.
This is Mare, and I just had the image when Joshua was speaking of uh, the sense of drowning in the sea of grief and mourning, and having the flotation of the joy of connecting with all of you.
Mm.
So thank you.
Thank you.
Hey. I I just can I still say something?
Yes.
Yeah, I've been present with this. What's the English word? It's like these two poles of, on one hand, there's all this grief, and this grief is bigger than any person can hold, and it's connected to things that are so dear to our heart, so we cannot look away and we cannot not grieve and not feel this pain and not talk about it. And on the other hand, there's daily life going on. There's my child that will want to play with me once I finish this call and will want to have fun, and there's life to take care of every day, and it feels so sometimes so not reconcilable, but it's both like part of us. And I know that many of my friends and also the family of my husband where I am right now, like, not there's not much talking about what's going on, and I think it's because we're so overwhelmed with the emotions that might come up and that we might not know how to deal with it. So I think then many people shut down because they don't know how to handle. And so these spaces are so important. I think that we have spaces in community or spaces in our life, that we create some spaces to mourn and to grieve, just to honor and acknowledge what's going on, and not to become numb, and because that would just be part of that same story of inhumaneness that we're witnessing somehow. Yeah, but holding compassion for all these struggles. Yeah.
Thank you, Janna. Thank you a lot. Mm. Okay, we come to a closing as it's 26 past 6. And I just, before we say goodbye, I also want to ask the people from the team and colleague, Katharina, Tilly, Caro, Jan, is there something what needs to be added? Luisa, Saskia? Okay. For all the others, is there something needed to be added? Okay.
Just want to add that I feel really in the heart of these cycles of violence is pain that didn't have a space to be felt. grief that didn't have a space to be mourned. And then it seems like when we don't, then that pain is just passed to our children and pushed into another body because it's just there, it's not gone. And it needs some space somewhere. And just wanted to bring that in, that I see that we're so deeply connected through the pain that we actually carry, that we push through each other, that has not had space. And I get why so many Germans care about what's happening here, because we somehow deeply know that we share a pain. And just wanted to acknowledge that I feel that what the violence doesn't come from evil, it comes from actually ungrieved pain. So for me to make space for the pain is like, it is peace, deepest peace work. So thank you for inviting us to be with what we have inside, and opening the space here as well. I just felt my tears running just being with you all this last hour and a half. And I saw your tears, and so, yeah. Thank you
Thank
for
you,
that.
David. Thank you, David, for holding this. And also, I just want to say a few last words in the last minute, that I really left the protocol. I was writing everything down and was very nervous. And if there are further questions or something, also reflections or something come up, you can also write me. I'm available from Monday on again. I will put my contact in the file, and I just want to acknowledge that it was really like only a short amount of time. And then when I left the protocol, I tried to just grasp thing what I felt it could be useful, and it's really just like this tiny bits what I shared, and I hope it's like a tiny seed or a tiny drop what is watering. I think a shared wish of us from a really powerful grief ritual all together for several days, as David said. And also wanting to say that what David just shared, that in the longing in our hearts, our deepest longing for our life, for our loved ones, is often connected with a lot of grief. And how beautiful is this, to be together in this. Thank you. Thank you for the trust, and maybe also sometimes the not right words, and that they were landing somehow. And yeah, I wish you a good time of integration. And thank you, David and Tad. And blessings also to May for a safe journey. I am in Berlin next week, so I can meet her.
Yeah, for those who are in Berlin, actually, May, after her teaching, she has 2 free days before she comes back to the land here, and I will join her for 2 days, the 8th and the 9th of August in Berlin, and we'll have a gathering, and you're all most welcome to join, to be together with the community there. So just reach out to anyone, to me ideally, and I will give you all the information. And I just want to say so much gratitude. Thank you for Janna, and also for Tilly, and also for Saskia and Head for holding us through today. In each one of your heart, each one heart, our heart have so much to give and to hold, and yeah, just bowing to each one of your hearts. And I liked what Josh said, or I don't know who said it, Mail, like the grief, holding the grief and meeting in the joy of actually meeting it together, and the empowerment and the hope that's inside that, being in community, and gives me strength every day to be with you, just that you really know how meaningful it is also for us. And for me, my request would be as a closing prayer that we sing together the song of Tildi.
I just
That
want to say
might break.
something about the chat.
Yes.
We put in the chat the links to the WhatsApp groups where you can continue and be with us, and the YouTube channel, and donations to Satyam. And also, David, there is a repeating request to donate to Odez's family. So, if do you have the link to that?
You mean Auda?
Auda, yeah.
So you can transfer to Satyam writing, it's for Auda, and we will pass it to him here. Not to him, but to his family and his community. And as soon as we have a direct link to send money, we will also post it in our groups. But for now, they're still organizing. They're like, as you can imagine, it's a complete chaos. So we have activists going from Satyam there, and we will just withdraw the money and give it to them in cash. So you can do that. Thank you. Yeah, and if you wish to put yourself on the map or just join the campaign and share about it, you find all the links in the chat now that you can see them also. Thank you. Do you also resonate with singing this song together for closing? It just touched me so much. Maybe you can sing it again and we can just sing along with open or closed mic. I don't know. It will be not a complete chorus, but let's see.
Yes, we can do that. Okay. I don't know if we were meant to carry so much grief in one body. I don't know if we were meant to carry so much grief in one body. Yet we are not alone. We are yet we are not alone. We are not alone. I don't know if we were meant to carry so much grief in one body. I don't know. We were meant to carry so much grief in one body. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Tilly.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being together.
Thank you.
So much love to you.
Oh,
Please take care. See you tomorrow. No, the next 2 days. We have a pause. See you on Sunday, Saturday, Sunday,